Looking for a dime. James Locke in the house, gonna help you shine.
Welcome to the Pool Locke YouTube channel. I'm James Locke. Today we're going to answer 2 more Ask James questions of the day. First question is from Kevin. Yes, my wife and I want to work another 10 years, but my company's 401k doesn't have a Roth feature, and we both make too much to do regular Roth IRA contributions. What should we do? All right, Kevin, great question. You're not alone. Many company plans still don't have Roth features, even though they become increasingly popular. But here's a couple of workarounds that can help you build that tax-free bucket even without direct Roth access. First, see if your plan allows after-tax contributions. This is different from Roth contributions, but it's still after-tax money. You can pay taxes now, let the money grow inside the 401k, and later roll that portion into a Roth IRA tax-free. Now, some plans even allow in-service withdrawals, which means you can do this annually, a strategy sometimes called a mega backdoor Roth. If your plan allows this, it's one of the best ways to build substantial Roth savings. If that's not available, consider a non-deductible IRA contribution, and then do what's called a backdoor Roth conversion. You put in after-tax money, $7,000 or $8,000 per person if you're over age 50, then convert it shortly after, owing little or no tax on the conversion since the money was already taxed going in. Now, the key is to avoid having other traditional IRA money sitting around when you do this because of something called the pro rata rule. But if your IRAs are clean, this strategy works beautifully. If you and your wife each do that for the next 10 years, that's over $150,000 that you can move into the tax-free bucket. Not bad at all. And once that money is in the Roth IRA, you can invest it in safe income-producing assets that align with your overall retirement income strategy. 10 years from now, when you're ready to retire, you'll have a nice cushion of tax-free money generating tax-free income. That was a great question. If you have a question that you would like to send in, send it in. Do email it to us. Email it to poollocke@poollocke.com. Our second question of the day is from Margaret. And Margaret says, we don't have kids, but we want to leave our money to charity when we die. Do Roth conversions still make sense for us? All right, Margaret, that is a great question. And the answer really depends on your overall situation and time frame. Right? If you plan to give your money to charity after you're gone, there's less of a reason to do Roth conversions from a pure legacy standpoint. That's because you can make Qualified Charitable Distributions, QCDs, directly from your IRA to a nonprofit once you reach the age of 70 and a half. Those transfers are tax-free. So they satisfy your RMD requirement, and the charity gets the full amount since they don't pay taxes anyway. However, if you think you might need access to that money later for income, and this is, important for income-focused retirees, or you're concerned about being pushed into higher tax brackets by Social Security, pension income, or RMDs, it could still make sense to convert some funds earlier in retirement when your tax rate is lower. Here's another consideration. If you're living on the income from your investments, interest and dividends, from a conservative portfolio, having some of that money in a Roth gives you that flexibility, the tax flexibility, where you can pull from the Roth in years where your other income is higher, keeping you out of higher tax brackets, or you can let the Roth money continue growing tax-free and draw from your traditional IRA, depending on what makes the most sense that particular year, that particular tax year. And since you mentioned you don't have children, that also means you'll likely need to plan carefully for long-term care because you'll be the one paying for it. And you won't have adult children to serve as caregivers. If you and your spouse are healthy, you might consider using some of that money for a life insurance policy with a long-term care benefit. This protects your principal from being depleted by care costs. It ensures you have the income you need, even if one of you requires expensive care, and still leaves something for the charities you care about. Now, many income-focused retirees overlook long-term care planning because they're so focused on preserving principal and generating income. But a single extended care event can drain hundreds of thousands of dollars from even a well-funded retirement account. Having long-term care coverage, whether through traditional insurance, a hybrid policy, or self-insurance with dedicated assets, is essential to protecting the income strategy, really, that you built. So, great questions today. And if you would like to send in your question, you can do so. You can email them to poollock@poollock.com. Now, if you like what you heard today, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. I'm James Locke, your retirement income source. I'll see you next time.
Money on my mind, looking for a dime. James Locke in the house, gonna help you shine. Retirement is near, don't you live in fear. Listen up, my friend.